To give back to all your support on the Gigantamax videos, I thought I'd go through your comments and look for the most requested Gigantamax Pokemon that you all wanted to see in the first top 10, and bring them all in here for another top 10 Gigantamax Pokemon for the Sword and Shield expansion. Of course I could only fit in 10, but please still drop a like and let me know which others you'd like to see be discussed in the comments, and we'll make sure to cover those and different topics about Gigantamax Pokemon, so if you want us to see us reimagine those Pokemon, don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe to see them, as I'm sure we'll find a bunch of topics for all those favorite Pokemon. That top 800 new Gigantamax forms coming real soon. Anyways, hope you all like our look at some of the most popularly requested Pokemon for Sword and Shield's new mechanic. Number 10. Mimikyu. Mimikyu seems like a stellar pick to start this list off with, as it's one of those memorable staple Pokemon with a personality and story that makes you want to give it a hug, well, we're not that close, as well as give it a form to receive the attention it deserves and seeks in its War and Pikachu cosplay. There were countless supporters out there writing comments to have this beloved Pokemon included on my pre-evolution video. That's the wrong video. Nevertheless, this loved Generation 7 Pokemon came in storming. A go-to concept would be making it a bloated Gigantamax Mimikyu form to follow its idol, Japanese Mickey Mouse. A really awesome form for this kind of Pokemon could also be one focusing on its hidden self, possibly peeking out from under that costume and letting about 60% more of its body roam free from under that starting to fade cloth. We could even use that as a design with the old rag it's wearing to look even more worn and torn to remind you of those old stuffed animals sitting in a plastic bag somewhere behind a bunch of clothes. Mimikyu is not only a popular pick, but one that would do wonders to a Gigantamax form, as it is not only one of those few Pokemon on the smaller sides of receiving a form and becoming humongous like Alcremie and Orbeetle, it could also be the only other Pokemon add-in that has no evolution or pre-evolutions to leave behind in a form change, with the only other one being Lapras. This could all set up for a very storied, Pokédex entry-based form for Mimikyu, while also making it feel complete for the massive number of fans out there hoping for one. Number 9. Hydreigon. Every Pokemon with multiples of something always has a concept made like Gigantamax Klinklang. So, what if it had more heads? With Garbodor being the only Generation 5 Pokemon to receive a Gigantamax form, why don't we balance out that comical form with a radiating dark powering form with the eerie and brutal looking Hydreigon? Dark is just a great type to give off those menacing vibes for a Pokemon blowing up and towering over the opponent in its new bigger and sleeker form. Hydreigon is also one of those Pokemon in a more powerful group that has a great design but hasn't received anything yet. A more grounded traditional Hydra, where Hydreigon's hand heads become more full heads, but with the main middle one being the leading cast member, would do justice to such a cool Pokemon like this. You might want to keep that floating prowess it has and keep it in the air, however, while still upgrading those side heads and arm necks. But a really fluffed up and radiating Hydreigon, with even some larger wings and a more complete tail, is something to look forward to in a love pseudo-legendary like this. Number 8. Wailord. Alright, you know what? This was probably the most mentioned Pokemon because everyone sees a new mechanic where Pokemon get bigger, and this behemoth of a whale that's just a regular Pokemon but the size of a blimp needs to inflate to even higher heights as a meme form suggestion on every Gigantamax video. And honestly, I think a good portion of us want to see it as a new DLC form. It's a good Pokemon and that's a good idea. Wailord's got some wonderful notoriety for its size while having a pretty cute look for a simple whale design, and it feels complete in its evolution. It doesn't need that much to gain another memeing spotlight, and a Gigantamax form would give it a lot of charm and a bit of a comeback and borderline patch to the game so they can fix how small it is. Even this guy looks disappointed, he's in the game. All I'm saying though, Fortress Whale. Where are you at? From pleasantly happy whale to angered ready to destroy everything whale. That's an almost evolution form suitable for everyone in the new expansion. Oh, you've got beaches? Try getting past this angered whale with a castle on its back. It's even a ritual summon. Some people are doing daily incantations to Game Freak on Twitter. Maybe that's just the enchantment and sacrifice needed to summon a new whale form onto the field. Honestly, this would just be the perfect Pokemon for a comic relief form. Just take Snorlax's stomach jungle where they shot the new Pokemon movie, and we use that idea, but put a water park on Wailord's back. We get the biggest Gigantamax Pokemon and a pretty good lighthearted design to really highlight the fact that we all think this Pokemon should get even bigger. Number 7, like one of the evolutions. If there's something to request, it has to be at least one of the evolutions. Some have their own groupings to where if you wanted one, the others would have to follow in as well. The most likely one I could see appearing would have to be Sylveon. It's the most differently designed and appeared by itself in a new generation, so it wouldn't need anyone else to be given a form with it. And with there being possibly limited spots to getting Gigantamax forms, it might be pretty likely for Sylveon and Eevee to be the only ones receiving a form, as they're more solo from the other groups of dogs in this series of Pokemon. My personal preference, however, that was also a commonly commented pick, would be Umbreon. You have to give Espeon as well, which is a great pairing to have both, and with there being so many Gen 1 Gigantamax Pokemon, it'd be nice to see the nicely designed Gen 2 Pokemon, then having 3 more Gen 1 Pokemon, who would definitely all need to get one together, even though they are also great picks as well. Number 6. Garchomp. A classic signature Pokemon to round off this list, and Garchomp comes in with many hopes for a Gigantamax form. Not only are dragons always going to be highly desired to receive anything, being a champion's known ace Pokemon can prop them up on any to-do list of designs at Game Freak. While Garchomp's Mega Evolution focuses on a more blade handling focus, a Gigantamax form more fixated on its tiny wings and making it hover in the sky could do wonders. Maybe we have it compete with Mega Salamence in a pseudo-legendary versus. Anything given to this dragon would make it a terrifying specimen to behold, and a highly used one at that. But seeing Garchomp in this new type of form, smoothing out its spikes and powering up its look, brings a massive amount of hope for this to arrive. Number 5. Raichu. Let's just get this out of the way. Fat Raichu? Raichu is popular. Sure, maybe it's hidden by the popularity of Pikachu, but when Pikachu gets another form and Raichu's there, needing some love for just how cute as Pikachu it is, maybe slightly chunkier, there needs to be something done here. You can have the meme Gigantamax form onto Pikachu with its old Gen 1 sprite design reference, and we can give Raichu a more stern, serious form to suit. What about Garchomp, the long-lost evolution to the Pikachu evolution line? That'd be a great reference and a form upgrade for Raichu, while keeping it in a less joking new battle suit of spikes and additional fur like the scrapped evolution. With Pichu not being in the Pikachu line, this could be a great way to give the popularly requested and underloved evolution a new form and interestingly deep change that calls back to its lost family member. Number 4. Flygun. It's not just that Flygun was asked for, it's that Flygun has been one of those dragons that was kept in the dark by other dragons but still maintained a good fan base as a favorite dragon, even with it being that overshadowed Pokemon that hasn't received any forms or additions. Also, we've all been asking for it to get something since Mega Evolutions were introduced. There's nothing like getting one of your underloved, favorite Pokemon to the light by receiving a form that not only makes it more noticed, but also makes it bigger so everyone can definitely see it from far away. It has to be one of the Pokemon with the most fan art for form concepts when you look it up, and seeing it go from this cute and friendly looking dragon into this powerful beast with a more serious roar and draconic stance is something we've all been asking for our green dragon pal. Number 3. Lucario. With Ash just catching a Riolu, another Pokemon topping the charts of popularity could be getting its own Gigantamax form. They did up the spawn rates for Riolu, and max raids as well, when Ash had that secret egg in the new anime. So what about releasing a Gigantamax Lucario around the time he evolves it? There's nothing quite like choosing the Aura Pokemon to be giving a radiating aura around it in its bigger and badder form. The Mega Lucario route, where it's decked out in a keen, new but fitting outfit for its form change, would be great. Maybe an even more themed look like a warrior or its fitting wandering looking self could work wonders. You could sort of get that Gigantamax Toxtricity feeling from Lucario. The possessed eyes and maybe a 4-legged dog approach could be good for its new form. But if anything, what we not only want to see is Lucario getting this new form, but Ash also evolving his Riolu and all those friendly interactions between the two of them. If he doesn't evolve and does another Gible while this great Pokemon is waiting there to be unlocked, much like this new Gigantamax form, then I don't know what we'd do. Number 2. Tyranitar. Tyranitar is just that Pokemon that looks like one of the most fitting Pokemon to be given a form like this in the later parts of Sword and Shield. Honestly, they could go the route of Gigantamax Gengar, where Tyranitar is also similar to its own Mega Evolution, but in a more sleeker, spikes shooting back instead, more jarred, crouched head pointing forward, and if that lurching over you in its Gigantamax blow-up could make for one of the most intimidating, final boss looking Pokemon that'd be so alluring to see in a max raid battle, or if they made side quests to encounter these Gigantamax Pokemon, as this design could reinvigorate that similar feeling you get from encountering legendaries. Just a personal thing, I've always wanted to see that spot in Tyranitar's stomach that looks like he's trying to sneak in a Pupitar under his coat, being lit up and shoot out hyper beams or some type of beaming move. Just emitting light from that spot could be a really memorable design choice for any new form it could be given. Number 1. Dragonite. Alright, let's go down the checklist for why this is number 1. Insanely popular, Ash just caught one, never received anything, not a Mega Evolution or a form change. It's a Gen 1 Pokemon and those get priority most of the time. Might as well add to the 50 Gen 1 Gigantamax Pokemon already. and it's a signature Pokemon for another champion. Dragonite has all the makings for becoming one of the downright best Gigantamax Pokemon there can be. I can see Tyranitar being the most popular pick, and also a contender for the top spot, well, with how close in frequency these two Pokemon were mentioned in the comments, but combining all those factors with Dragonite just never getting anything, really had that #1 placing torn between the two, with a little Lucario as well. A great form for Dragonite, could be having those tiny wings become even smaller as the rest of Dragonite's body becomes even chunkier, getting an animation of it struggling to fly because even it's fat. Just seeing a mood switch, however, between the loving best friend Dragonite to warrior mode could be a real treat. But also seeing it become even more happy and caring would be something Dragonite fans would love to see. Lance even had a showdown against Leon in the anime. What if he came back for a round 2 with a new Gigantamax form for his signature Pokemon to match Leon's Charizard? We also have that eerie gigantic dragon form from the original anime as a possible hint. Sure, that might be subjective bias for this list to try and force the idea that that should be #1, but well, Dragonite seems like it has all the makings for another show-stopping form to be added into the expansion pass, and seeing it hover into gear for the role will be news to cheer us all up for just how many comments we're asking for these 10 Pokemon.